Today, jumping back on the green car, of course, it's time to get the underside of this car sprayed. I got more wire wheeling I need to do, cleaning up more stuff, and gonna get at least 90% of the underside done. I can't do the rear trunk area, that still has to get cut out for a fuel cell, but I can spray the wheel wells, the floor pan, all the way up to the front of the trans tunnel. So that's gonna be everything to at least get it covered for this year, and I'll finish the rest of it next year, but that'll leave me basically 90% of it done. And I can still have to get a fuel cell and figure out how everything's gonna get cut up for the rear for that. So getting this all cleaned up. I still gotta clean up these edges right around here. There's just dirt and crap. So just run over it quick with a wire wheel to clean it all up. And then we're gonna spray her all down and see what happens. It's just gonna be another day of underneath the car. But the interior is looking very nice. So happy to see this all back in place. It's so cool. Half cage, full interior minus back seat, but that's gonna have to get a firewall built for the fuel cell and all that to be back there. So there's just a lot more to come. Alrighty, the car is just about ready to spray undercoating. I got all the wheel wells cleaned up, just primered all the bare metal from the top and the sides where the pinch welds were, the whole spare tire well area, or not spare tire well, get old fuel tank area. I just got cleaned up and primered as well. Same thing up here with my front inner fenders. They're all cleaned up, ready to go. So now I gotta tape off my engine bay and put a garbage bag across here. That way I don't undercoat any of the firewall where I don't want undercoated. So gonna get right to that, and then we're gonna be painting. Well, I am extremely excited to say the car is completely undercoated underneath. We're completely undercoated, done, sealed up. I can start putting subframes back in this car now once this is dry, probably tomorrow, maybe Monday. This is just awesome. I'm gonna start peeling all this off, and I'm not gonna show it till I get all the tape and bag and newspaper peeled off of here. So it's gonna be cool. I'm excited for it. It's gonna look so good. It already looks so good, but it's gonna look even better once I get all that off of there. So here we go. Just gonna get right to it. All right, we're completely unmasked. Not that you can see anything, but getting a glare from that light, but look at there. Fender wells all coated. Whole underside of the car all the way to the spare tire well that needs to get cut out for a fuel cell. Completely undercoated. How cool does that look? Got it stopping right around there. And the rest of it will be a painted engine bay. Absolutely love this. It's crazy watching people do this to cars for years and now actually doing it to my own car. It's just nuts. Just as absolutely nuts how much I have done to this car in a short period of time. Like, it's, I don't know, each one of these builds is just kind of a dream build. I'm always pushing my boundaries of what I'm capable of. And this car is surprising me of what I'm capable of. So I'm going to get to throwing the seats back in here. That way this thing can just be all buttoned up again. But yeah, how cool. Here's the rear wheel well. I'm so happy with this. This whole car has completely transformed from a turd. I'll still get to the rocker panels, but that might be a next year thing. I don't know. This thing's gonna be a blast. I can't wait to get this thing all together next spring and get to ripping it. And I got my bucket seats and all that back in. Readjusted the driver's seat again. And I think I found a position where it's actually going to work without having to go farther back. So, very happy with that. It will, I already kind of knew where it was going to work, but I tried it in another spot when I put it back in this morning, or last night. Yeah, last night I tried it in a different position when I put it back in. Put it back in the position where I had it, and it's definitely a lot, that's where it needs to be. All the way, max bottom, and full top, so. All the tilt, all the down. That's how it works. I'm a tall guy, so that's just how it has to be. But that's how I set it up for the harness bar, so everything is still within spec. This is just crazy. I know I keep saying that, but I could just sit here and stare at this for hours. Excited to put some subframes back in this thing and make it a roller. This thing's gonna look sick. Well, I've ended up spending most of my day getting everything ready for subframes to go back in the green car here. I got all the holes thread chased and everything ready. Found myself 4 nice subframe bolts, 2 nice diff support bolts. Everything's nice and matching, OEM hardware, so I think it's finally time to throw subframes back in the drift car. Very cool. Made some washers for the bottom of the diff brace. I got them drying over here. Gave them a quick coat of paint. Factory ones are all pretty shot, so made some new ones real quick. And now everything's ready to go back in. Well, the car finally has subframes back in it. Got the rear diff in, diff support, rear subframe. I ended up putting my white line rear subframe locks out of my white car in here. I'll order new ones for the white car. But got those all in there. Front end's all good to go. Got my steering rack in the subframe. We're ready to start hanging suspension pieces. Start making this thing a roller here. Alright. Goal for tonight. Gonna come over here to the white car and steal some parts tonight. Gonna be taking the arm kit out of this car. We're gonna be putting this arm, these lateral arms on the drift car, and when this car goes back on the road, it'll get a new kit. Just because this is saving me money now and getting that one on the ground. This one's gonna be here for a while. It hurts to steal parts from it, but this one's going to be here for a while, like I said. These have 10,000 miles on them. I'll get some brand new ones, and this car is going to be nice and fresh when it's done. The drift car is a budget car. It is getting mainly only parts I have laying around and bare necessities I need to buy, so... Been making great progress on the old green car here. Got all my subframes in, got my rear suspension arms in, so it's time to start hanging some knuckles from this thing and start making it a roller. So figured it'd probably be a good video to maybe show some people how to get the long bolt. I've considered them, or friends of mine call them the Jesus bolt. I don't know if a lot of other people consider them that or not, but I usually like to torch them in the center and hammer them out both sides. I sadly forgot to bring my air hammer home tonight, so I'll see if I can get them with a regular hammer. But yeah, set up a video and start showing how I cut these things apart to get them out. And after a short little while, I got both of these cut out of there. So I like to torch them in the middle and then hammer them out both sides. Usually I use an air hammer. It's a little more of a pain in the butt hammering it with some hammers and punches. These ones were pretty clean. There wasn't a lot of surface rust, but when you get a lot of surface rust built up on the actual bolt, it makes it kind of a pain to hammer them out. But those are off of there. The knuckles are now ready to go on the car. Luckily for me, I've been dealing with Subarus for a while, so I can come up here, grab myself a couple new Jesus bolts out of my drawer, and on the car they go. Started hanging suspension knuckles last night. The rear's all in, minus coilovers. So I think I'm just going to throw my race lands back in it for the winter, and I'll hopefully have a deal worked out on some BCs for next year. Get them swapped onto it. But Yeah, there's honestly a really good chance that I could put this on the ground tonight, which would be really cool. So, just gonna putz with it here tonight and see what we end up getting done with any luck. She'll be back on the ground with some wheels and tires on her, so very exciting. The drift coupe is about to officially be a roller. Straightened out that smashed up Sedona red fender to look meh better. This fender lines up amazing. I actually took the time to line it up for once. Ooh yeah, excited to get this thing on the ground. Gonna be so cool. Let's drop it. Oh, drift car is on the ground with awful fitment right now. But, you know, there's no motor, there's no trans, there's no gas tank. There's just an interior. And that's it. Oh man, so cool. Gotta get the full effect, I guess. Ooh. Oh hell yeah. That fender's a little meh. So cool. So cool. I'll get out of here one of these nights and get some better footage of it, but she's a roller. Just all together in one piece. Figure out all the bits and pieces up on the roof now, and heck yeah. This thing is just too darn cool. Like I said, fitment is very whack at the moment, but that is what it is. We can figure that out. That's easy. Oh, how cool is this thing? Roll cage. Big ass carbon fiber hood scoop. Oh, so cool.